It's showtime. What's up, good people? And welcome to the Frank Harris Show, the biggest and the best podcast in the world. Today we have Keem Shaka in the building to
Yo,
debate and talk about these great topics. What's up, Keem?
yo, what's good? How you doing?
Shit, everything is love, man. Everything is love. Everything is love,
Yeah,
man. You know what I'm
I'm
saying?
excited to
Are
be
you
on
ready to are you ready to verbal spar with the greatest ever? I'm the
Yeah,
greatest
man.
of all time, baby. You think you ready for this?
Hey, you the greatest every day other than when I'm on the show, but I'm excited to be on the show, man. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay,
I've been
okay.
seeing all on the internet. You've been going crazy.
Yes, man. Everybody's shout out to the fans. Everybody's showing so much love. We going viral, baby.
Yeah,
Shit
man.
crazy, man, but it's a
I saw
blessing.
that. I saw
And it's
that
so
big
good to have
Bentley.
you on the show, man.
Yeah, man. That big Bentley talk, man. That's you know what I mean. I need to get on that segment.
Yeah, you got and by the way, the Rolls Royce talk is coming soon. The double R talk, the Big
Yeah.
Billy talk is good, but the double R talk is coming soon too.
I
Coming
feel
to a
that.
theater near you very soon.
Yeah.
So today, Keem, I want to talk about three topics at least, right? I mean, and if we keep rolling, we keep rolling, right? We're gonna do a versus where we're comparing players, and talking
All
about
right.
who's better. We're gonna talk about LeBron and his promise school, and we're gonna talk about NIL deals, not in that order. We're gonna kick off talking about LeBron because that's something that we gotta touch upon with the NBA season upon us. We got
Word.
some problems in LeBron land, right? So first of all, let me preface it by saying LeBron James, when he set out to create the promise environment back in Akron, where he's from, the mission was great. It was about helping students who are behind. Let me be clear about that. Try to accelerate and get ahead of the curve, helping underprivileged families and underprivileged students from an academic perspective, but it's a wraparound. So it's not just academics, it's educating parents, GED programming for parents, diploma programming for parents, wraparound students, creating environments that are really comfortable for students from all perspectives. But now we have big controversy, Hakeem. And the controversy is that none of the students that are in the eighth grade now, they've been there since the third grade, not one student has been able to reach the standard of proficiency for the state. So state proficiency exam in math, now one student has been able to pass in 5 years from the third grade to the eighth grade. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I have some other stats, right? Like let me just look at this real quick. State test scores in English and science are nearly as bad, and Black students at I Promise test in the bottom 5% of all Black students in Ohio. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so not only do you have at I Promise the math proficiency scores being so what I mean, they've never gotten to standard, not one student, but they're lagging in other subjects as well, Hakeem. So the big question is, let's talk about that, and then let's
Word.
talk about, is LeBron to blame, right? Do we
Okay.
blame LeBron?
Word. So I feel like the I Promise Academy, it was created for kids who are already behind, correct?
Yes.
You mentioned
Yep.
that, but the kids are already
Uh-huh.
behind, right?
Uh-huh.
So I feel like if you have kids that are already behind, and the I Promise, if I'm correct me if I'm wrong, the I Promise Academy is not a charter school; it's a public school, right?
Correct, which is important to note. That's a good point you brought up.
Because quite often with charter schools, what you do is you have a whole bunch of rich kids coming to the school, and you have a whole bunch of kids who's already ahead, right? And they just like the school, they like what the new buildings, the new, especially with somebody like LeBron James behind it, everybody in the country will want to go to the school. You know what I'm saying? So when you keep it as a public school and you have kids that's already behind, I just feel like everybody wants instant gratification, and that's not the case. You got students that was already behind from the third grade to the eighth grade. They haven't excelled in math or passed the math test.
Whoa,
and they
whoa,
have.
whoa, whoa, whoa. But you
Hold on.
said excel. They haven't even gotten to. We're not talking
So
about excelling.
they
State
you
level
right.
is probably not high.
That's crazy. They failed. You feel me? They failed the math, but they're not failing the other things, even though it's bad. And it's only been a few years. New school, new everything, right? So I just feel like we gotta give grace to our promise. Now, I do feel like over the course of the next few years after this group, they gotta start doing better. But I don't expect kids that are already behind in a few years to be able to turn the whole ship around and be doing great. And I understand they're doing terribly. So we're gonna acknowledge that. And you have to
Right. I
change
mean,
soon. You have to change ASAP. But these are already kids who are behind the 8 ball before they already behind the curve.
so
So
let
they're
me
not
unpack something.
deteriorating.
So let me unpack. So on a positive note again, it's a public school, okay, and so they are, because it's a public school, privy to a lot of state funding, okay, which is why a lot of officials and people in the area are very upset about the lack of performance for the school. Now, LeBron being involved provides bicycles, helmets, lunch, food, right? It really substantially helps. Free uniforms
Sure.
for the school, and obviously LeBron's name. Okay, so I want to make sure we acknowledge that. But for me, I completely disagree with you. Okay, from the 3rd to the 8th grade is now kids started from behind, but to have not one kid since the 3rd grade now, and these kids are in 8th grade, not being able to be on grade. On grade. We're not even talking about excelling and being extraordinary, right? And by the way, another element I want to put up is all the kids that graduate from Promise are also able to go to the University of Akron. They'll be accepted. So I want to make sure I put that up there as well. So University of Akron, excuse me, is also a partner, which is crazy too, right? Because the kids can't. So the kids can't do math. So I mean, I don't know how they're gonna get into college, right? They're gonna be doing remedial math in college. But my point. Hold on, Hakeem. But my point is, there has to be some accountability at some point, right? The kids are failing in a lot of different areas, but it's glaring in math. For you to not pass one student, right, to the level of, and we know state level is not extraordinary usually. State level is a very mediocre level. And for not one kid to be able to stack up and be able to pass proficiently at the state level is a shame. And by the way, it's an embarrassment. And then again, you go into the other subjects, right? They're not proficient in the other subjects either. And by the way, I agree with you. I agree with you. The kids
are already behind.
The kids that start from behind, I get that. But Hakeem, right? In 5 years, one kid should be able to pass math, right, to a state level. None in 5 years? That's crazy, dogs.
I just feel like it's other factors, man. If all of those kids like weren't at the math level that they needed to be, and now they're closer to the line that, like, so let me ask this, right? Over the years, they've all failed, but have their failing numbers got
every year?
So listen. But it's a difference between getting a 40 and getting a 50, right? So my question is, they failed every year, but have they gotten better? Like, did they get a 40 one year, then they get a 55? One year average was a 55, then the average was a 60, right? Because if you got kids coming from behind already, the question is not, are they passing now? The question is, are they making progress? You see what I'm saying?
Are we having the tallest midget conversation? I mean, really? Who's the tallest midget? Is that the conversation we have here? I mean, I hear you, but
we had midgets to begin with.
So instead of getting 40s, they're getting 55s?
That's progress. When you're coming from 40, when you get to 55, that's great progress. It's just like if a kid is an 80 student and they bump that up to a 95, that's a significant difference. So it's like you got to look at it scale wise. If a kid is getting a 40 and gets a 55 after that, that's a significant difference. You know what I'm saying? Because a kid with an 80 that gets a 95,
I would agree, but they should be making those kind of jumps per year, right? You can't go from 40 to 55 in 5 years. That's crazy.
I just feel like, man,
that's crazy. And I can't believe that you would even remotely think this is acceptable.
No, what I'm saying is this, right? This is the beauty of it, because it's like the question is two things. One is, are they going to continue with these kids and continue to try to educate and help these kids pass the 8th grade now, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th? Like, what if by this first year's 11th grade year, they all killing it, and they get to the SATs and they do well. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like
Yeah,
it's a
but at
it's a
some points,
marathon
but
when it comes to
but at
education,
some point,
especially education in our
yes,
community. You know what I mean?
yes,
Because
it
think
is a
about
marathon.
this,
I
man.
agree with that.
You also know this. In order to change the education, you have to change circumstances. Those kids started in the 8th grade. So how old you in the 8th grade? 8, 9?
No. They start in the third grade.
3rd grade, pardon me. I meant to say 3rd grade. How old are you in the 3rd grade?
9,
8,
probably 9,
9 years old,
9,
right? So for 9
8,
years of
9,
these
8,
kids,
9, 8, 9.
8, 9. So it's supposed to be an inner
Yeah.
city, a bad community, bad education. They was already behind going through all these things. So for 9 years of these kids' lives, prior to being in this program, they was impoverished. They didn't have the proper resources school wise. Their housing circumstances was probably crazy. A lot of that has to be reversed over the years to help your education. You know what I'm saying? And so
Well, listen, we don't agree, but at some point,
let's see by the time they get to the 10th grade year, the 11th grade year, let's keep our eyes on it. They definitely should
yeah.
be doing better. But I'm just saying we gotta look at the stats a little
Okay, so
bit
let me
more.
say this. We
And
agree
shout
that
out to
obviously
LeBron.
we agree that it's a long-term goal. We agree on
Word.
that, right? But at some point during the process, though, we got to kick the tires. We got to check the engine and make sure it's working, right? And
For
so
sure.
we can't say, okay, well, let's wait till they graduate from high school to see if it works, right? We got to be
Nah.
able to take snapshots at different points in the process.
Yes.
By the way, it's alarming. It's alarming that 5 years down the line from third to eighth grade, not one kid. By the way, if some of the kids were able to do it, I would say okay, but not one kid, not one, has been able to be on grade, and again at a state level. We're not even talking about being extremely proficient or exceptional, right?
Yeah.
And so, and I understand kids are starting from behind, but at this point, the kids should be on grade 5 years later. And then hold on. So then let me say the second part of the question, okay?
Word.
With this being the result, right? And by the way, a lot of it is LeBron helping black inner city kids, right? And
For sure.
the black
100%.
kids are performing lower than in the lowest percentage in the state as well.
For
The
sure,
black kids
because
in his school.
what he could have did with his school is he could have went and got a bunch of kids to be in his program that aren't inner city kids, that aren't coming from behind, that were excelling academically and in a bunch of different ways, and had a school that went out the gate and killed everybody. Had great numbers, great scores, great everything, a great school, and you wouldn't have been really doing it for what the
Yeah,
real
but
purpose.
Hakeem, but you talking
The real
about
purpose.
here. You talking about here. There's a whole bunch in between. His kids are here right now. I'm saying, can we get here? And then the next question is this. Hold on, let me just ask you this question. Is it LeBron James's fault? Now, because a lot of people say, look, LeBron James, right? He creates this environment. You hire people ultimately, and it's their responsibility to take care of the school, to make sure that the school is running properly, to make sure kids are getting educated the right way. Question is, should we be blaming LeBron James for this?
I don't think we should blame LeBron James for this, but I think it's important to make sure that anything you attach to, like, you got to see it all the way through. Because I think one issue that our primary school has is their teacher retention. They lose a lot of teachers. I don't know why that is, but they lose a lot of.
Yes, 15 out of 50. 15
Yeah,
out of 50,
exactly.
just
So
to be clear.
I don't know if it's because even though you got funding and you got LeBron behind it, you are still in the public school system. I don't know if it's also really difficult to work with children who are behind versus schools that's excelling. So you got to pick the right people. So I just feel like, again, if in 5 years, you've had a bunch of different tasks. You've had to create a school. You've had to find a teacher and leadership staff. You had to get people that was going to stay and be committed. You had to make kids do better that were already behind, right? It's just a lot of things that had to get accomplished over the course of 5 years, and there's no rhythm yet. So I just feel like
5 years. Let me know rhythm. It shouldn't take 5 years to get rhythm, man. What are you talking about?
Listen, man, these schools been in play for decades on top of decades, man. You know what I'm saying? So, and I don't think it's to blame LeBron. Now, I do think it's important that, so like you said, every step of the way, you should have your checkpoints. So I think it's very crucial that we look at this as a checkpoint to, all right, let's see what's going on. And I think that LeBron James has to actively step in to whether that be visiting the school a little bit more, whether that be, putting his hands on who the teachers are, etc. But he got to do something now, but it's not his fault yet. It's only been 5 years, new situation. He's also
I totally disagree with you. Let me tell you why. It's 100%.
Yo, shout out to the artist. Shout out to the creative. You heard? We in full support, man.
It's 100% he gets the blame. Let me tell you why. Because he got 100% of the glory when he first started the school. Everybody in the world spoke about his philanthropy. And by the way, conceptually, it was a great idea, right? But I hate when this happens in society, okay? Hold on. Let me finish. When LeBron James came up with the idea of starting the school, right? He was, man, the amount of accolades and great talk that everybody gave to him and the way people felt about him and all of the press and the publicity and what it did for his perception and the way people viewed him, etc., was at the highest level. And by the way, he took all of the credit for that, and it benefited him from a brand perspective. And I agree, he should have gotten that all, and it was a great. So ultimately, though, right, when things go the other way, you got to take it that you have to accept that as well. You can't. Hold on. I'll let you finish. You can't. What you can't do is take all of the accolades and all of the good stuff, but when the bad stuff comes, then you say, "Oh, I wasn't around. Oh, I hired the wrong people. Oh, right, I exonerate myself or I quit myself of the responsibility." No, when you were getting all the accolades, right, when you started the school and everybody was praising you, you took all of that. You didn't defer and give that to. So therefore, right now, when your school is doing atrocious, okay, and it's on your watch, right? You absolutely should get the blame, and it's absolutely incumbent upon you now to step in and intervene and do better, LeBron. And you know I like LeBron, and I love what he was doing, but you got to do better, and it's your fault. You got to take the blame.
Can I ask you a question?
Huh?
Can I ask you a question?
Ask me. Yeah.
Did kids eat free?
Say it again.
Did kids eat free?
Yes, they did. Well, yes. Yeah.
Did he provide housing for every kid that's in that program?
I don't think he provides housing for all the kids in the program, but I
believe he does. We gotta look that up. I believe he does. He provides housing.
Because that can't be the case because it's only a 50 housing unit situation that he built. So I don't think he provided housing for all the kids there.
Some of the kids already had housing. You don't need to house everybody. Some of the kids already was lit.
So but he didn't house everybody. And you said you provide housing for everybody there.
So did he house the kids that needed a house? Yes. Right? Did he do that? Did he do?
No, I'm not saying he housed every kid.
Did he create a
scholarship
system for Akron University where kids can go to college? So the thing is, like, when you say that LeBron,
but they're not gonna be able to get in because they're not gonna be able to get in.
When you say that LeBron James should take the blame, I feel like
yes, he should.
Now, what's most important is these kids doing better in school. That's super important. But of the 5 tasks or the 10 tasks he set out to do, if the man is doing 8 of them at a high level, feeding the kids, clothing the kids, housing for some kids, setting up other programs, etc., and the kids that were already behind aren't just up to par yet, and that's a negative thing. But if you're accomplishing 9 things greatly out of 10, you gotta show love to that.
Hakeem, state scores in English and science are nearly as bad. So that means nearly as 0%.
They sleeping better.
And black students at I Promise test in the bottom 5% of black students in the state of Ohio. So therefore, it's poor kids. Hakeem, it's poor kids in Ohio all over, right? And they're performing better, and they might not have the housing and the benefit, and those kids are performing.
So, but it's the thing, though, right? Like, this is the thing. Like, this whole, when he created the I Promise school, it wasn't just about school. There was a full initiative. The initiative was more than just school. It was school.
I said that wraparound. It was a wraparound.
Exactly. So as far as the wraparound, those other kids who are doing better, let's talk about wraparound. Those other kids that are doing better across Ohio are doing better in the classroom. But the wraparound is not better than the kids at the I Promise school. Because
how the kids gonna go to Akron if they can't read or write or do science?
They got 4 more years.
They're not accepted to the damn school.
They got 4 more years.
College.
They got
Yeah,
4 more
well.
years. Come on, man.
All right, well,
And,
listen.
and it's also the public school, man. We got to give a lot of leniency to LeBron James, man, because when you try something this great,
leniency.
we have
Oh
to.
my
Because at
goodness.
the end of the day, the kids are still eating. They still got clothes on their back. They still got food. They still got
Well, they're not
housing.
closing their
Come
back.
on,
They were uniforms he provided them for clarity.
that's closing
Uniforms,
their
not
back.
closing
What
their
you
back.
mean?
Okay,
That's closing their back.
okay,
Great.
uniforms.
Come on, man.
Okay,
Don't do
that's
that.
fair.
You
But
feel me?
listen, I said, right, the initiative of what he set out to accomplish
Word.
was noble. It was a
And he's
noble
doing most of
mission.
it. He's doing
Wait,
most
hold
of it.
on. It was a noble mission that he set out to
Word.
accomplish, right? But just to be clear, the central piece was the academic, right? So it's wrap around, right? Centered around preparing these kids academically to perform. And by the
For
way,
sure.
it's failing miserably. And by the
Listen,
way,
I
and by the way,
can't say
it doesn't mean that they can't get better. It doesn't mean that they don't keep trying. But at some point, Hakeem, again, you have to at some point say, yo, this is where we at right now. This is the reality. This is unacceptable. We got to step up. And LeBron James himself has to take the initiative. You got to take the blame. It's on me, like coaches, right? When coaches have the other coaches are calling the plays and making the mistakes, you got to say the blame is on me. Like quarterbacks. The quarterback says the blame is on me. LeBron James is a quarterback. He's a coach. It's his fault. It's on me, and I'm gonna make changes, right?
And I don't
Because you
feel
took
Braun
all the
got any problem.
accolades. You got to deal with that.
I don't feel like Braun got any problem taking the blame, man. I'm standing in as
That's
the
all
voice
I'm saying.
I'm standing as the voice on the side to say, Braun, don't worry about that blame. 5 years, these kids haven't even been in good situations for long. They've been in bad situations. 9 years of bad situations, 5 years of good situations. Come on, man. Give him a little bit more time. Step in, LeBron. Get it right. You feel me? But we still rocking.
Listen, I love the mission. I mean, you got STEM. You got good academic. I love the mission. Academic program. But my point is, I don't want to do things in theory.
Bum teachers for leaving and abandoning them kids. They only went in there because there was a LeBron and they was rocking. But when they got there and these kids was failing, they supposed to stand 10 toes down.
You can't. But listen, disclaimer. Disclaimer. You don't know that's true. Number one, disclaimer.
I blame the
they
teachers,
might have left, man. They might have left because the environment was toxic as well. The environment that LeBron created might have been toxic. So we don't know why they left.
LeBron creating everything.
But let me say this. Not LeBron himself, but the people that he brought in play. But let me say this.
Teachers,
right?
They got to stay.
Let me say this. Noble cause. Love what he was trying to do. Right? The iteration of what it's become is failing. LeBron, you need to step in, take the blame, right, and right the ship. That's the bottom line.
That's the problem, man. The problem is we be getting too caught up in who taking the blame versus writing the shit, man. Who cares?
So why we don't get caught up? So
it don't matter. The point is the kids got to get better, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and face to the organization, make it better. All right. So look. So we I know that we totally disagree there, but LeBron got to take blame. LeBron got to take some responsibility there. So, all right, Keem. So listen, Keem, shocker, we got to switch it up now. All right. So that's good. LeBron, I promise. Shout out to LeBron. Hopefully he can right the ship, right? Because at the end of the day, what we really care about is these kids getting educated. And I love the idea of wraparound, helping families, helping people get educated, helping impoverished people find a better way. So,
for sure.
Again, theoretically, great place. LeBron, let's step it up, fix it, and make it happen the right way. All right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, Keem. Now, we got to talk about this. You are a high-level athlete.
I feel like I just ate you up on that just now. You heard?
Say it again?
I feel like I just ate you up on that last segment, man. I mean, you might have to pick it up this one.
Oh, come on, man. What is that, a joke?
Yeah, let me know, man. Like you said, yo, I was a high-level athlete. You know what I mean? Talk about it, man. I was a high-level athlete.
I was the highest level athlete. But we both played high. We both played high-level sports, right? So, back then we didn't have NIL deals, right? Name, image, and likeness. New to the college sports landscape. Name.
Hold on, y'all. I don't even mean to cut you off, man. I'm gonna let you do your thing. Yo, y'all heard how he tried to snake me just now on the Lotto? He said, yo, I was a higher athlete. You feel me? But you feel we was both high.
We both high level. No, we both high level.
Yo, we running clip back, man. He did me crazy just now. You heard?
No, we both high level. High
Yo,
level.
listen, man.
High level.
Listen,
High
man.
level
You
college.
heard?
High level college. But
Nah,
listen,
go ahead.
but listen, so NIL deals, new phenomenon. It's crazy right now. It's the wild, wild west. Some people like it, some people don't. Some people feel like it needs to be regulated better. I have my thoughts about NIL deals, and I want to get your thoughts, right? What do you think about it? I'm not a big proponent of NIL. I think it's absolutely adversely affected the landscape of college sports in a negative way. And you know, I'll get into my thoughts, but let me let you talk first about your thoughts about NIL deals.
I love NIL deals, man. I love NIL deals. I love them because I feel like the kids are finally getting paid for their services. And while you say it's had adverse impact on college sports, I feel like it hasn't had the negative impact that people thought. Some people thought that when you start to pay these kids, they're going to get lazy. They're not going to go hard no more. It's just going to change the whole climate. But I think that one thing that we forget to factor in is the love of the sport. And I think that these kids, whether they're getting paid or not paid, when I look at Shador Sanders and I look at another kid that's on a random kid that's on one of these football teams they play against, I watch these two people both compete, you know, to the highest of their possible ability, regardless of if Shador got more money or if this kid don't make $1. You know what I'm saying? And so I feel like the love of the sport, people were questioning the love of the sport, and I feel like if we look around college sports, we see that the love of the sport is still very present with these
Well, just to
kids.
be clear, I don't agree with
the
that's what people are questioning, but okay. I don't feel like that's how people thought the NIL deals are bad for the love of the sport. I don't believe that people thought that was the reason why. That may have been an element, and
So
let me
what
ask
you
you this
feel
question. You
okay?
said college athletes are now paid, which they weren't
Yes,
being paid before, which I think is wrong
absolutely.
too. Okay,
They
let me
weren't
tell you
being
why
paid
this.
before. They make the listen that we live
That's
in a
not true.
capitalist
That's
society.
not
They
true.
make
That's not
what you
true.
mean? What's not true?
Let
We
me
do
tell
live
you.
in a capitalist society.
No, but players were getting paid before. Okay,
No,
let me
that's
ask you a
cat.
question.
Scholarships is not getting paid.
Hold on.
Not enough.
Hold on. So let me comment on that. Okay.
Not enough.
Go around and ask all of these people that work in corporate America that went to high level or academic institutions who are still paying loans back, or student athletes who go to school for free being paid. Absolutely,
They
they're
don't.
getting paid.
They don't
Just to
generate.
be clear,
They never
just to be
generated.
clear,
They never
just to be
generated the
clear.
university $1.
Hold on. That's not what you
We didn't.
said, though. That's
We
not what you
weren't
said.
watching them. We weren't watching them. We don't watch kids in their classroom and pay money to watch them in
Can
their
I
classroom.
finish?
We pay them to
Okay,
be on
so
that
I'll let
court.
you make your point. Now,
I'm gonna
kids
let
were
you make
getting
your point.
paid. Kids were getting paid. So that's not true, number one.
Cap.
First of all, universities, education-wise, if you talk about room and board, food, education alone at the top universities, that's in excess of $70,000 a year of free college that everybody else is paying for on campus. So you are absolutely getting an additional benefit as a student athlete. So in 4 years, just to be clear, at $70,000 a year for 4 years, just to be clear, is $280,000 a year in 4 years, and most schools give you 5 to do 4. So let's say $280,000 you got over 4 years. That doesn't include, as an athlete, okay, all of the first class treatment you get. All right. So you can't quantify these things, right? But the adulation on campus, the restaurants you go to eat for free, all of the things that you get that come along with being a high level athlete on a high level campus. And by the way, right, you get all the girls loving the guys, right, on the guy side. There's a girl side too, but all the guys get all the most beautiful girls. They have the best experience on that college campus, okay, on the male side. And I'm sure they have female perks too, okay? So let's not act like, and then now, so they've been getting paid for clarity,
Okay,
right?
so
And
can I ask you a question?
and, yes, please do. Yes.
All right, this is my question, right? Do they
Yep.
not provide academic scholarships? Are there not kids on campus that go to school free because of their academic achievement? Are they not kids that go to school free for other achievements outside of academic achievements and outside of athletic achievements, whether it be something in the arts or
Okay.
something other things? So
Can I answer that?
other kids.
So let me
There
answer
are
that.
other kids on campus that get scholarship to go to school for free that do not. Let me add this, and then you can say, go ahead. That do not generate the school any bread. So those kids that are getting the academic scholarships, the other scholarships that you get, that they go to school for free, getting paid to go to school, do not generate the school any bread. I haven't seen to this day anybody bring a camera crew inside a classroom and watch kids do homework. Never seen it, but I see it at every game.
Okay.
And so that is the element. Yes.
So therefore, they do generate money because as you build out all your so that's wrong. Let me tell you why. You do bring money because as you build out, let me tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why. Okay. So first of all, two things, right? So let me start from your initial point, which is people who do extraordinary things on campus, right? Who extraordinary students, for instance, people that are extraordinary in their fields, as basketball players are, as football players are given benefits more so than the average student, just for clarity. Okay. So as basketball is a skill, so is a person who may be the number one violinist at a school, or a person who may be an extremely high level academic person, right?
Facts.
They're all extraordinary and they bring assets, and that's why they get scholarship money to go to a school, number one. Now, number two, you asked me about generating money, okay? When you get the best academic kids to go to any university, okay, they continue to up, right, the profile of any university. So if I have the best academic schools, or I have the best science program, or I have the best mathematics program, then absolutely that will attract more kids economically that want to come to my school. So those people are absolutely contributing to the economics of the school, right? So that's number one. But hold on. But then this becomes the other issue, okay, which is substantial. So now you have NIL deals, and it's the wild, wild west, right? There's no level of legislation in play to kind of monitor it. So by the way, every college coach, everybody in the space thinks that it's way out of control. So right now, all you do is pay for play. It's no more about you pay for play, number one. It's pay for play. It's pay for play. And all you're going to do is also create a wider gap, right, between mid-majors, low majors, and major schools. Because the schools with the money now can pay for all the players. So now,
as if that gap didn't exist. Stop it. That gap already existed.
But you're furthering the gap, is the point I'm making, by paying for players. I mean, right now it's pay for play. You see, Nick Saban
never trying to make mid-majors as good as high majors. Stop it. That was never the agenda.
Of course no, but there was more parity before. Of course there was. When you watch college football, for instance, now there's no parity.
There wasn't parity then. There hasn't been parity for years. Hasn't been parity for years. No, that's
not true.
Way before the NIL deal. Are you kidding me?
That's not true. Every year, if you look at the bowl series and you look at college football, there were always mid-major programs who rose up, the Boise States of the world, and all of those schools who were able to get to high-level bowl games and compete because the disparity wasn't so different. There were always mid-major programs that rose up and did well. Cincinnati did that for years. Boise State was a prime example of that. But nowadays, Hakeem, it's no way, let me say this, it's no way you can get a local kid to go to the University of, quote unquote, Cincinnati, as opposed to going to the University of,
you never could.
Or going to Duke. No, schoolboy kids all the time. Schoolboy kids.
You never could.
Huh?
You never could.
That's not true. That's not true. But the point is, Hakeem, everybody's saying that it's out of control. Right now, it's pay for play. College sports might as well be pro sports.
I need to know who everybody
college sports might as well be pro sports.
So what? Who cares? And what's wrong with that? What's the difference?
What's wrong with that? Pay for play. Wild West.
They're still not getting the money. They're still not getting paid salaries. And that's the biggest difference. In pro sports, you get paid salaries. NIL deals allow you to use your name and likeness to make money. But there's no salary that every player gets paid. In pro sports, every person on the roster gets paid a salary, which is way more handsome than the NIL deals that these kids are making.
That's not true. They got some guys making more money in NIL deals than they would have made the first year in the NBA and the NFL.
Yeah, but we're talking about what I'm doing is I'm comparing because the guys that are getting NFL, NIL deals are the best players in the country for the most part, right? And the best players in the country for the most part.
The University of Utah, for the most part. The University of Utah just gave their whole football program trucks. Their whole football program got
So
Chevy
what?
or Dodge
That's
trucks.
not we talking about. That's not a truck that you got. We talking about the guys that's making the M&Ms to play sports. Those guys that are making the M&Ms to play college sports are the stars, and those stars typically go to professional sports and they make a lot of money because those are the stars. We're not talking about every kid on the roster. We're talking about the stars, and those stars continue to go to the professional league and make bread. And
So
their
first of all,
endorsement deals that they do outside of their salary is big chicken, because essentially NIL deals are for the most part endorsement deals for the most part, and the endorsement deals they do on top of their salary is more bread in the league.
So by the way, that's not true, right? Because let me tell you why. Because NIL deals are how NIL deals are not just endorsement deals, right? NIL deals. Hakeem, NIL deals are ways to get kids to go to schools. Texas A&M is paying all of the top recruits to come to Texas A&M.
The majority of the money that these kids are getting is to advertise product. It's a fact.
Kind of, but not.
It's to advertise product.
Hakeem,
for sure.
Hakeem, it's fake. It's not. Come on. It's fake. It's not. It's not. Most of the NIL deals, you don't. Huh?
You see the commercials. I've seen Caleb Williams commercials. I've seen Shedeur Sanders commercials. You see the commercials. It's not fake.
Wait, hold on. So first of all, you said you see commercials outside of Caleb Williams' Wendy's commercial and Shedeur Sanders' commercial with his father. What other team? Who else doing commercials in college sports?
It's not that many kids. It's not that many kids that's making M&Ms. And I
that's not true. Every kid. What? That's not true. Every high major program has kids getting high level NIL deals. No, that's not true. Alabama.
No.
Alabama got multiple kids getting NIL deals, and none of them on TV.
No.
What are you talking about?
No. NIL.
What do you mean? But listen. So let me tell you again.
I'll give you another example. I've seen way more kids than just those kids. I've seen commercials with Bronny James in it. I've seen commercials with the kid that's at Kentucky right now, the point guard, DeJuan Wagner's son, with DJ Wagner. I've seen a whole bunch of
commercial he was in. For what product?
Nike. Come on, man.
I never seen no Nike commercial for DeJuan Wagner.
What?
That ain't true. Nah.
What?
I don't believe that.
This is me, baby. I don't know who you normally have on the show.
But Hakeem, even if you have even if you name 7 kids, right? There are thousands of kids with NIL deals. So the majority of them not getting that. So even if that's the case, you might name 5 kids that have commercials, but there are 5,000 kids with NIL deals and they don't have commercials. So it's not about that. It's about paying kids to go to school.
You see my boy? Do I need to pull it up? I need to pull up the commercial?
That's not the point.
You see my boy?
That's not the point.
What's the point?
If there are 5 kids that have commercials, there are 5,000 kids with NIL deals that don't. It's not about that.
Because
it's about paying kids to go to school.
Every time, every endorsement that you have for a product is not translated.
It's about paying kids to go to school.
It's taking the products locally and promoting them on your socials, etc. If you look in their socials, I bet you every kid has promotion on their socials for whatever brands that's paying them money. I guarantee you, they promote product.
It's about paying kids to go to school. Man. That's what it's about. And by the way, kids are already getting paid. So can I ask you a question? So let me ask you a question.
For the record, hold on. And just for the record, what they're doing right now is they're trying to pass a rule where schools can actively help kids with NIL deals. They'll have like photographers on campus, all of those kind of situations to facilitate the whole process, help you guide it, etc. So as of today, that does not exist.
What doesn't exist?
Where schools can actively like take control of your whole NIL situation, help you with it, like provide all the different resources.
Yeah, because schools are trying to do that because they're trying to catch up to the wave.
Yeah, so when you say
by the way, every college coach, I would say most college coaches feel like
they hate it. You know why? Because they got a kid in the locker room with more chicken than them. That's why they hate it. They hating. They old regime. That's why Deion Sanders love it, because he part of the new regime. You see what he doing? He leaning in the NIL as much as he can, because that is the new wave, and that's today's wave. And all them old coaches that don't like it, they just broke. And they mad that they starting quarterback who they used to yell at and call him broke, got more bread than him, is pulling up in Lamborghinis. That's a fact.
Let's be clear. So let's be clear.
Old.
Okay, so let's be clear. Okay, I want to make sure that we have factual information. Okay, so
Facts.
So hold on. The quarterback is not getting paid more than the coach at high Division I programs. Let's be clear. Okay, so that's false. Okay, now if you want to say, wait, hold on. The number one player at Alabama ain't getting paid more than Nick Saban per year NIL deals. The number one player at any high major program. Hold on. You're not stating facts, right? The number one player is not getting now. By the way, how much no matter how much money you know, say it again.
How much the USC head coach was the deal?
Lincoln Riley?
Yep. The USC.
Look it up.
He make $10 million annually.
Yes. There's no way Caleb Williams makes more than $10 million.
Caleb is at $5 million. We right there, coach. What are we talking about?
5 and 10 is close? I get it. And you went to math at LeBron school. You got math at the I Promise school. 5 and 10 is close. You went to I Promise.
I Promise school. Yo, listen.
5 and 10 is close?
Yo, the I Promise school.
5 and 10 is close?
School is messed up. Yo, NIL deal, money. Yo, you like the Grinch, man. You like the Grinch. You want LeBron James. You want my man LeBron James to lose. You think NIL deals is right?
But we got to be accountable.
You the Grinch, man.
I want to win, but we got to be accountable.
Yo, and just for the record, Lincoln Riley was a bad example, because Lincoln Riley is the second highest coach over Saban and all of them dudes.
You brought him up, not me.
That was a bad example, man.
You brought him up, not me.
But let me tell you something.
No. That was a good example.
On Duke or Carolina, quarterback on Duke or Carolina, them boys is making more money than they coach. That's a fact.
No, they're not.
Fact.
No, they're not.
Which quarterback is better, Duke or Carolina's quarterback?
I'm not gonna make your point for you.
Yeah, I know.
But neither one of them, just to be clear, right? Neither one of them are making more than the head coach. And by the way, you brought up USC, and that was a good example, because Caleb Williams probably makes more than any other player. So that benefited you too, because Caleb Williams probably has more NIL than anybody else as a Heisman Trophy winner.
No. Number one, Shador, FYI.
But I'm just saying that benefited you. He got a lot.
Number one, Shador.
He got a lot. So you want to go to North Carolina now? Go ahead. Drake May is the quarterback there. Go look at how much the coach makes there, Mr. Hakeem. Come on, Keem Shaka. Look at the coach at UNC. Now you don't want to talk now. I see you quiet now.
No. Look my numbers up. Bo Nix. That's who we about to look up.
Okay, Bo Nix. Okay, that's from Oregon. Get your facts. He Heisman candidate from Oregon.
Nah. I don't want the Oregon one. I want Drake May.
Now you want to look at North Carolina? No, come on, man. We can't be on the show.
Yeah, Drake May.
Trying to research because you can't make your points right.
Drake May. Yes, sir. Drake May.
I'm listening.
Is making what my man Drake bringing.
How much?
My man Drake May's bringing in $1.3 million.
Now look at the coach now from North Carolina. Here we go. I'm gonna make you look silly again now. How much did Coach Mac Brown make? I'm gonna tell you his name. Mac Brown. For all the fans.
Now he looked like an old dude though. Mac Brown.
How much do Mac Brown make? Give us the facts. Randy, could you tell me how much Mac Brown makes in North Carolina?
Mac Brown. Once I seen he was an old white dude.
How much he make?
He make $5. My boy's at 1.3.
How much?
He makes $5.
How much he make? How much?
He makes $5.
So how is Drake May close at 1.3 and he makes $5?
So
what are you talking about?
once I saw his face was an old white man, I knew that he was stealing money. They giving the old white men that been there for a while, they giving him too much money. I knew that was a lie.
Oh my
I
goodness.
knew that.
Well,
Yo,
listen,
by the way,
listen,
I look.
listen.
Yo, let me ask you a real question. He looked like
Yeah.
he been coaching in North Carolina his whole life.
No, he hasn't, right? Mac Brown coached at Texas, right? He was at Carolina as a head coach, did a good job. What?
He was at
So
Carolina.
let me screw you. He was at Texas. Excuse me, he was at North Carolina. Then he went to Texas, right? Bigger program.
Come on, man.
What? And then he came back to Carolina again.
He get more chicken than them.
But hold on. But that is. But let's speak. But let's get back to our NIL deals, right? They're not making more money than the coaches, right? But it's the wild west. Right now they pay for players. And by the way,
that's the problem.
And my initial point is, I think players are already getting paid, and I think players getting scholarship, getting training table, you know what that is, getting all of that money that you get per diem, all the money that you get as a basketball player, to me, is money for your abilities. And by the way, let me just say this. And I want to close by saying this. Let me just say this. Also, yes, athletes absolutely contribute to the money that schools are making. But let's also not forget, like, and by the way, okay, let's not forget this. I don't like Duke University, right? I use them as a prime example of basketball. Or you can use, on the football side, you want to use USC, or you want to use or Ohio State or Alabama. I like Nick Saban, okay? Nick Saban spent years at Alabama building this program, right? Nick Saban has made Alabama into a internationally recognized entity and the best football program, college football program in the country, okay? When you come out of high school and you get into that machine that was already built, okay, it enhances your ability to be a pro because we get you on. We built something that got ESPN to give us the big sports contract. We built something that got Nike or whoever to give us the big contract. We built something that Nick Saban built that, right, with the players. So when you come in, Nick Saban built that. Hold on.
So they wasn't paying players? Did they not pay players?
Hold on.
Come on now.
You talking about illegally. So therefore, these guys build a platform. These players are coming into a platform that was already built. When you come to Duke, that program is built already. Duke program is built already.
Just like Duke paid for players, just like Nick Saban played for players. Period. You acting like this didn't happen. You acting like Nick Saban built that program from ground up without paying for players and giving players incentive to come to his program. You act like he did not do that.
I didn't say that.
No,
I'm not acting that way.
Saying is,
I'm not acting that way because I'm acknowledging that. I'm acknowledging that those schools paid. I'm acknowledging that, but that don't mean. Well, I'm not acknowledging that because you don't know they paid.
It was always payola. So you said today it's payola. It was payola then. You said today people could pay kids to go to school. They was paying kids then. Come on, man. Now you just leaving it paying for everybody.
Like I said, you and I both know the real deal, but we talking about it's legal. It was illegal and legal. But let me just say this. But so it's a platform already built before these athletes get there, right? So don't act like because one guy comes for 1 year, that all of a sudden he's the reason why revenue is being generated at Alabama, right? When that player leaves, Alabama's a program that spent years and years building itself. So did Duke. When one player coming in, all of a sudden, that program is built. By the way, that player is on ESPN because of
Let me answer that.
Why is that player on ESPN? Why do they have a Nike deal?
It's like you said, right? So Alabama, they built the program, right? But it's a relationship, right? Alabama builds a great program, but then this kid that comes into the program is a high profile, high name that a bunch of Alabama fans and people around the world want to see this kid play because they're a top kid in the country from high school. So people want to see him play, and this is a program where people come to see play. So it's a great harmony, and therefore they should be making money together.
Not harmony. It's not harmony.
It's not
harmony. The program is up here. The player is not there. It's not.
Let me tell you this. The program is built off of superstar players. If Alabama goes and gets kids that are not top players in the country, they won't be the same level program. And those same kids that are top levels in the country are the kids that the fans want to see. So therefore, they should be sharing in revenue. Period.
Nah, they do share. You get a scholarship. You get about 300. You get 300-some thousand.
By the way, a kid gets an academic scholarship.
Go ask any working class man or anybody out there that's still paying student loans to their 50 years old. Right?
You talking about working class? I'm talking about other people that get scholarships on campus. Kids get scholarships to be in the classroom.
So what? The point I'm making is
no fan. Listen. It's been on no leaderboards. The kid that won a scholarship, no leaderboards have a fan group that want to see them in the classroom study. Period. It just is what it is. So you keep talking about scholarship. That's not enough.
But why do you keep driving the conversation there? The point I'm making, I'm not talking about that point.
Because you keep saying they get paid in scholarship, and I'm saying
they do get paid in scholarship.
That's not enough.
But that's your opinion. I don't agree with that.
Not enough.
But I don't agree with that.
Because what's unfair is this.
But the point I'm making,
they generate money.
But the point I'm making about people, Keem, the point I'm making about people who are still paying back student loans, okay? That's nothing to do with people who are on scholarship for playing an instrument. The point I'm making is people should value the fact that the education is not free.
Education is expensive. Levels to get paid for it, period. Like, what do you mean? We live in a society where by the way, if you don't have extraordinary skills, go sit on the sideline, period. That is what it is. You talking about, the average person who's working a job. The average person who's working a job does not have a skill set that people are willing to pay for at a high level. And that's why they
hold on. So hold on. We agree on that. And because they don't have that skill set, they didn't get the scholarship. So therefore they have to pay.
Scholarship is not enough. It's not enough. No. It's not enough.
Hakeem,
it's not enough.
That person has to pay. Your scholarship guy doesn't have to pay. Your scholarship guy didn't pay.
Because of extraordinary
ability. Therefore he got.
Yeah, but hold on. And this is why I bring in.
You're proving my point.
I'm gonna tell you how I'm not proving your point. This is why I bring in people that get academic scholarships and other kinds of scholarships. Because my point in saying is, for being extraordinary, you get to go to school for free. Period. Right? In general, if you're extraordinary athletics, if you're extraordinary academics, if you're extraordinary playing an instrument, you go to school for free. Now, the difference between everybody going to school for free on scholarship and athlete is that athlete is generating rev. They bringing in money for the school, a lot of money for the school because of deals to watch the games, jersey sales, etc. And that is why they deserve to get paid on top of it. That is why, because yes, your extraordinary ability allows you to go to school for free, but that's not just for athletes. That's athletes, academia, everybody. The academic kids are not generating the school revenue.
There are way more kids on score scholarship than oboe players. I mean, come on, bro.
Come on, man.
That's foolish. Man. The point is the amount of money that people are getting paid to go. So you may feel like the amount of money that people get paid, just for clarity, you may feel like, and that's your opinion, that the amount of money that people get paid, right, is not enough.
If you pay me, I can do whatever I want with my money.
Hold on. If you feel like
I can't do whatever I want with scholarship money,
you should feel like ultimately people should be paid based upon what they bring in, right? Eat what you catch. I don't agree with that.
If you pay me, I can do whatever I want with this money. If you're telling me that you're giving me a scholarship, you're not paying me because I cannot not elect to take the scholarship and take the money instead. You're not paying me. A payment means I can do whatever I want with my bread.
But hold on. Wait, in that example you gave with the scholarship, so if you don't put your money on school, you can't go to school in. So if I say here's your scholarship money, go do what you want to do with it, then you can't enroll in school.
They don't give you scholarship money. You play sports at a high level, so did I. They don't give you scholarship money. They hand you your scholarship. They don't give you money and you go pay for your classes. They tell you,
if I gave you the money and you didn't pay for the classes, you wouldn't be able to enroll in school. So that don't make no sense. So what can you do then? So if I gave you the money, you don't pay for the school, what happened?
That's giving me a scholarship.
That's silly.
It's not paying me. It's a difference.
Yeah, okay. So anyway, you feel like I'm not for NIL deals. You clearly are for NIL deals. I feel like student athletes do get paid. And by the way, and let's not
NIL deals a hater, man.
And let's also not forget all the other perks that you get for being a student athlete on the platform that Nick Saban created,
man.
On the platform that Deion Sanders created, right?
Bring the new regime in, man.
So, all right. So anyway, more good talk, right? More good talk. Now we're going to switch gears now. All right? Oh, man, that was good, boy. That was heated, boy. I like that, boy. We got a little LeBron talk. We got a little NIL
Yeah, man,
talk.
you brought the raw guy on the show.
Woo! We
Man,
got
you know
heated.
what I mean?
So now, Hakeem, let's do a little game of this player versus that player, right? And you tell me, right, who you think is a better player, had a better career, just overall is a better player, okay? So let me kick it off here because we both played the point guard position, all right?
Yep.
International point guards, okay? We would argue that the best two international point guards in history of the NBA are Steve Nash and Tony Parker, okay?
100%.
Who had the better career? Who's the better player? All of it, right? Who's the better player? Steve Nash or Tony Parker?
Tony Parker has absolutely had a better career, but Steve Nash is definitely a better player.
Nah, but Hakeem, but you got to give me one answer, right? Like you can't say who had a better career, but this guy's a better player, right? Because you can say, right, a guy that got 10 rings had a better career. The guy has no rings is a better player, right? So, but I want to know to you, all
so
things included, who's
Tony
the better
Parker
player?
absolutely had a better career.
But okay, so let me ask you this question. So, okay, Tony Parker kind of had a better career, okay? Because you look at it, okay, we looked at it holistically. He got
MVP. That's it. That's all he has on his resume.
Bruh, when you talk about who's a better player, 2-time MVP is pretty substantial. That means for 2 years, he was the best player in the NBA. Tony Parker was maybe first team all NBA probably.
Does Tony Parker, how many championships? 5 championships, correct? Or is it 4?
Not 5, because I don't think that he won all of the ones with remember, before he got there, I think they won a ring, I think.
Tony Parker.
Go ahead, Mr. I'm Google, but you can look it up if you want to.
So 4 or 5 championships.
We can look it up, right? Tony Parker.
I believe he was a Finals MVP before, correct?
Tony Parker. Let's look it up. Championships.
He's won 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 championships.
Like I said 4. 4. He got 4. 4 championships. All right. But by the way, and I don't think he ever made first team all NBA.
So let me say this, right? So Tony Parker has won 4 finals championships, right? Which the highest accolade of sports is winning a championship, right? So he's won 4 championships with his team, and he won a finals MVP 1 time. So he was the MVP of
but let me say this though. So he won he won 4 championships on Tim Duncan's coattail. Because Tim Duncan was clearly the man for that player.
That's why it's important to say that one of them he won MVP, so that was clearly not his coattail. And
that's not important to say.
And all of them.
Hakeem, that's not important to say. Andre Iguodala got an MVP, won the Finals MVP. He wasn't better than Steph Curry.
All of them.
So that's not important to say. Just because you won an MVP in the final doesn't mean you wasn't the man in that team.
Somebody's coattail,
right? Andre Iguodala got a Finals MVP. Right? In no way, shape, or form was he the man for his team.
Huh? Andre Iguodala. Yo, they don't win that championship without Andre Iguodala that year. Just like when
but hold on. Listen, he was an important piece, but Tim Duncan was the man for all those teams. Tony Parker was the second or third best player on a lot of those teams. Third on some. Fourth on some.
TP was super important for the team, though. Super important. And they won championships.
Let me say this. Yo, he was the 4th best player sometimes, right? And by the way, Tim Duncan.
He was never the 4th best player.
Yes, he was.
No, he wasn't.
Yes, he was. Yes, he was.
Kawhi Leonard, when Kawhi was there, Kawhi was 3rd.
That's right. Kawhi Leonard, toward the end of his career, was a better player than he was. And by the way, Kawhi showed you the next year when he left them and won and carried Toronto to the championship. And by the way, in the Miami series, Kawhi was the MVP. FYI.
Why is that FYI? Okay, so Tony Parker was the MVP.
Okay, so hold on. So you can argue Ginobili was better at times. Kawhi was better. Tim Duncan was always better. So he got rings, but he wasn't a guy. And let me say this. To be the best player in the NBA, to be the best player in the NBA for 2 years is substantial. To be the best player in the NBA for 2 years is substantial. Not very many guys have won back-to-back championships. MVPs.
Not if you've never done anything in your career past that. I don't even think Steve Nash ever been to a finals.
Nope, never got to a final.
Exactly. So when you talk about a career and you talk about a player, a guy that's won the entire thing 4 times as well as winning the MVP of it 1 time, it has had a better career than somebody who's won MVP twice, but have never stepped foot into the finals. Not once. This guy won it 4 times. He's never stepped foot.
Let me ask you this question. Okay?
Yep.
You can almost argue that Steve Nash also revolutionized basketball, right? Because Steve Nash was Steph Curry before Steph Curry, right?
Stop. No,
Steve Nash.
No, he was not.
Hold on.
No, he wasn't.
Hold on.
Steve Nash is way more fast than Steph Curry. He never was really a deep 3-point threat. Like, come on now. The only thing that we had.
What do you mean he wasn't a 3-point threat? What basketball are you watching? He was an absolute 3-point threat. And he was one of the first guys to go 50, 40, and 90. Was Nash.
I said
before Curry.
3-ball threat. Deep, meaning shooting the ball from not at the 3-point line. Steve Nash was not pulling from.
What's the relevance to that? The 3-point shot's a 3-point shot. I said he was Curry before Curry. Relevant. He changed. It doesn't matter how far you shoot from behind the 3-point line.
He was way more.
By the way,
what are you talking
about? By the way, he was the first guy. He was the first guy running offense where they spread the floor with D'Antoni, and they were going to the lane, shooting threes, pushing the ball. They were the Golden State Warriors before the Golden State Warriors.
Come on, that's not.
That was Nash.
His argument is crazy.
Nash, that was Golden State Warriors before Nash. Modern basketball.
Chris Jackson. Period. Chris Jackson, the coach thing.
By the way,
had to Steph Curry.
Modern basketball. You can argue that Nash and those teams, right, were the first team in the new era to play the way the Warriors play. Nash started that.
No, they didn't.
You can argue
Nash
that.
used to dribble the ball around.
Nash,
what are you talking about?
Nash
didn't swing the rock. The Golden State Warriors are about ball movement. What do you mean? The Suns are not about ball movement at all. Steve Nash used to dribble.
The idea of up-tempo, of scoring, of pushing the ball, of shooting threes. By the way, D'Antoni is Steve Nash before, is Curry before Kerr. Them old guys like Phil Jackson, all those guys, the way they play. D'Antoni is the guy of the D'Antoni, the coach, is the day of the modern era basketball.
Tony Parker's definitely
modern basketball is D'Antoni.
This is
say it again.
What's the next one? Because Tony Parker's definitely had a better career than Steve Nash, and Steve Nash is nowhere near Steph Curry, and I don't know what you're talking about. So
wait, time out. Hold on. So hold on. Once again, I never said that Steve Nash is near Steph Curry. What I said was Steph Curry took what Steve Nash did to a whole nother level. Right? That's like me saying Dr. J was at one point, Michael Jordan took it to a whole different level. It doesn't mean that Dr. J wasn't an originator.
No comparison.
So it doesn't mean that. But by the way, if you value winning, right, more, then okay, you can say Tony Parker riding the coattails of Tim Duncan had a better career. But just to be clear, statistically, okay, Steve Nash far exceeds him, stat-wise, far exceeds him. Just for clarity.
Tony Parker absolutely had a better career than Steve Nash.
It depends on what you're valuing.
Absolutely.
Is that not right?
No.
2 MVPs. What are you talking about?
Nash
has better stats.
Never did anything.
Nash has better stats.
Matters.
Nash has better. MVP don't matter?
Yeah.
MVP doesn't matter? What do you mean?
No, I'm saying never went anywhere. Never did that.
Wait, hold on. Besides winning the championship, the MVP is the second most valued thing in basketball. Nash got 2 of them.
And Tony Parker got 4 of them. So besides winning the championship,
hold on. No. But Robert Horry got 7. But so what? Riding somebody's coattail to get 4 is different than when you the man.
Robert Ory and Tony
coattail.
Parker and Robert Ory are two absolutely different stratosphere people.
I'm just saying, but don't act like just because you got the ring, you coattailing.
Let's not make examples that don't make no sense. Like Robert Ory is not even.
But listen, but it's not just that he contributed, but I don't know that
nobody thinks that Steve Nash and Steph Curry. Nobody thinks that.
Nobody thinks that what?
Steve Nash and Steph Curry. Nobody thinks that at all.
I didn't say it was
not a comparison that people make.
Michael Jordan's not Dr. J, but they took what somebody else laid a blueprint for and did better. Absolutely. And by the way, Steve Nash got 2 MVPs. Let's not forget that. By the way, Tony Parker has never been close to the best player in the NBA. Never. Close to that. But okay, let's go to the next one. I like that one. That was a good one, though. Let's go to the next one.
Yo.
Who had a better career?
My thing's about the
Tracy McGrady or Vince Carter? Huh?
Vince Carter. Easy cheese.
Tracy McGrady or Vince Carter?
Vince Carter.
Okay. Why?
Vince Carter. I mean, yo. I know we rocking and rolling right now, but my thing is about to die. My computer. So.
We'll finish that last one.
Vince Carter is definitely had a better career over Tracy McGrady cousins, but Vince, I believe Vince, I don't really know who went deeper into the playoffs between Tracy and Vince Carter.
Well, just to be clear, Tracy got a ring. McGrady got a ring. Just to be clear.
Yeah,
but okay.
McGrady don't have a real ring though.
Okay, well, you said he went deep in the playoffs. McGrady went deep in the playoffs because he got a ring. But okay, I digress. Let me let you finish.
We're talking about when they were at the best parts of their career. Vince Carter just did way more for the sport of basketball than Tracy McGrady did. Vince Carter, what he did on Team USA basketball was just more impactful than what Tracy McGrady did.
Because he dunked on somebody? I mean, what you talking about? That one dunk?
These moments are like embedded in everything. All we do is.
By the way, you said at their pinnacle. At their pinnacle, Tracy McGrady was an MVP candidate. Kobe Bryant himself said, right? Kobe Bryant, just to be clear, Kobe Bryant himself said,
what's
right?
He MVP? No.
Say it again.
What's he MVP?
At his pinnacle, he was better. At their pinnacles, McGrady was better. Now you might say Carter had a better career, but at their highest point,
absolutely.
Okay, but I'm just saying their highest point, McGrady was better.
Don't Vince Carter got a championship with Dallas that year?
I never said. I don't think he got. I don't know if he got a championship. I don't remember getting a championship with Dallas.
I think my boy got a chip with Dallas.
Let's see if Vince Carter got a championship.
Answer that though. Vince got a chip with Dallas, man. Telling me about Tracy McGrady and his chip, man. Vince got a chip.
Vince Carter did not win any championships. Come on, man, in his career. There you go, man. That's why I can't fuck with you, because you be giving false information.
He wasn't on Dallas?
Clearly he wasn't. Clearly he wasn't if he ain't got no rings. Clearly he wasn't if he ain't got no rings.
I feel like you be looking it up on Yahoo. You feel me?
Yeah. So what are you looking up on? KeemShaka.com?
You might be looking it up on something that don't, you know what I mean?
He got no ring.
Yo, you must
got a ring.
I know about those services that you use. Them services that you using, you know what I mean?
Yo, Keem, before
you type in anything you want and tell you whatever answer you want.
Nah, he ain't got no rings though, dog, for real. McGrady the only one that got a ring of the two of them. But cousins from Florida, right? Both very good. Listen, I would say Vince Carter because of longevity. I don't know if I would say that because McGrady was, woo.
Oh, man. Vince was special,
McGrady.
Man.
Tracy McGrady in Orlando and Tracy McGrady with Yao Ming. Oh, my goodness. Woo.
Listen, Tracy McGrady is one of my favorite players of all time. That moment when he scored like 13 points in how many seconds?
Yeah,
30 seconds, something like that.
Something crazy.
One of my favorite players of all time. But Vince Carter's career, his body of work is just special. You know what I mean?
Pause. Woo. Hey,
that was crazy.
yo,
That was crazy. That was flagrant. Y'all gotta go. I gotta go. It's over. My computer's dead. I was flagrant. I gotta bow out.
yeah. On that note, right, man, Randy, that was spirited, man. It's great to have Keem Shaka on the show, man. Great topics. Would love to hear your fan feedback. Would love to hear your thoughts on some of those topics and get your opinions. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you like. Make sure you show love. Spread the word. Tell a friend to tell a friend. We got the best podcast in the world. Thanks for tuning in. See you soon. One love, baby.